Still, Electronic Boys, they do manage to pick up the Rubik now, so you've got a very, very nice counter towards that Jakiro. Even the Nyx Assassin, either Ice Path or Impale, both are very nice spells for Rubik to steal. So I really like that pickup there from Electronic Boys. I think it's going to be very, very potent. Felt, not to be outdone, go for the Axe pickup. That's a very surprising pickup to make. We don't really get to see much Axe these days. I'm wondering how this pans out, because Axe does not feel very strong right now.
No, he doesn't. He's out of meta for good reason. There's no real reason to pick the axe here as well. Like, we're not seeing Shallow Grave, we're not seeing Promise here, we're not seeing a Troll come out. I'm not sure about the axe pick for Fault, but I guess when it comes to lanes, you can kind of run down with Axe Kira. Lots of DOT to pump out there. Axe is still a pretty good team fight with the Blink. You've got some great follow-up from an Ember who can jump in, so there's always going to be a hero to back up the Axe initiation on it. It's one of those heroes that doesn't care for how the lanes go, and there's that Electronic Boys, they go back to it. The Alk does come out for speed. Considering how speed went in game 1, you can't fault him for going back to it.
I don't necessarily think they have the heroes to deal with this right now either. Like, the Ember's going to take a bit of time to get online. They have the Nyx, so you do have that break, but you're going to need the follow-up damage. Maybe if we can see a quick blink out of the Axe, they could kind of run as 3 around the map and just keep hunting down this Elk. They must have kind of assumed it was going to be an option here, the Alchemist to be brought back out, considering it did work very well in game number 1. We'll see. Still, it does seem like Felt might be looking at a Batrider pickup from what I can tell, because they did just ban out the LC here. Maybe not, maybe they just want the LC along with the Alk. Seems like a nice little combination, but they do have space for a Batrider if they wanted to run the Ember Spirit safe lane and run the mid-bat instead. Definitely a possibility.
Just worry about the time they do that. The Ember wants to hit level 6 really quick, wants to be active across the map. With him on safe, you don't necessarily hit your EXP spikes as fast. You don't have easy access to power runes, which is a big thing for the Ember as well. Now, we did see Electronic Boys try to pull off the Ember safe themselves last time, which is fair enough. I think Felt could give it a shot if they wanted to. We'll have to. Surprising to see that Bat actually survive for both teams. Right, like Eboys didn't ban it out. Felt might not ban it out, which gives Eboys an option as well to run an off-lane Batrider if they wanted, or mid, the Void Spirit flexed away. Still a possibility there, and that Batrider is fairly potent. Didn't have a good showing in game 2, but it has been popping out all over, especially here in NA. Just a really potent team fighter. Really good flash farmer to have on hand.
It certainly is. It might kind of work against you if you're Electronic Boys with a Batrider, right? Because you're taking stacks away from the Alchemist. I think it is more suitable for Felt, but again, you'd have to force the Ember to go into the safe lane. Which, Ember safe lane doesn't feel amazing most of the time, I want to say. We'll see. They are going to think about their final ban out. Now they've got about 30 seconds reserve time left to make this ban. Right now that Alk is still looking pretty strong, and they actually end up banning out the Mars now. So Eboys, they have the first pick for this final pick, and they are indeed still lacking an off-lane or alternatively a mid-hero, throwing the Void Spirit in the off-lane if they so wish, though I doubt that's going to be the case. Should just be an off-lane pickup here.
They've got Tides in the pool if they wanted to. Rubik Tide is always devastating if you want to play that way. They go with a Viper instead for the break, and this is not a game for the Axe. That break just ruins. You're not going to spin in the middle of that. Nether Toxin. It's a really good pick for E-Boys, and makes Felt's game a lot harder.
It is very tough as well, right? Because you want to be able to blink in as an Axe, but you can't really do so. And now Felt, they go into an Ursa, which I do like quite a bit. I think it does round off their draft quite nicely, but I am very afraid for Felt with this Viper pickup here from Electronic Boys, because it does offer you a lot of kiteability. Just being able to slow everyone up and just be really pesky and annoying. Overall, though, that is the 2 drafts. Do you believe in this draft from Felt, or do you believe more in the draft of Electronic Boys, John? Who has your favor here?
It's easier to pull off what E-Boys wanted. You just need to buy space for this Alk to farm up.
Yep.
We saw Speed do that in game 1. He went for the Radiance build as well. We could see him go Battle Fury in this case, but I wouldn't fault him for going for the Radiant again, not to
Yep.
stop him from that. Felt have a lot to make work. You mentioned Ursa being nice to close it out. It's going to be kited around quite a fair bit. Viper is going to make him slow. Even with a status resist up, you're going to be annoyed by the constant T damage taking you away. The break's going to be annoying for Axe and Ursa. So there's a lot that Felt has to watch out for when they do toss these heroes up front. Eboys have a much easier to pull off draft. Easier to fall back into this Alchemist core as well. Just very steady. And once he gets running with his farm start, very hard to play against a 2-3 item advantage Alchemist mate.
I'm very curious to see how this axe works out from Zor. I do. We've already kind of gone over that it's going to be a bit of a difficult game for the axe, and there's just so many ways to cancel that blink and just be annoying overall towards him. See what he gets done, what he can get done on this axe, and I want this hero to be good, John. You know, I really want Axe to be a good hero, but it's felt so meh recently. What is that? What is that it says on his underwear, by the way? Is that Axe?
Axe.
He literally
just says Axe.
Axe,
on his
okay.
undies.
There you go.
I
like the fact that they've actually added a nice little axe there on his undies. Very, very nice.
Yeah. It's an important detail. Axe doesn't want to mix up his tidy whities with anyone else in his team still.
Naturally.
Let's see if those underwear, if that underwear holds up in this game. He's got a lot to have to pull out from those underwears, and Mio says it's Zor Axe waving a white flag.
Someone called that dog.
By the way, Mike, I saw a bit of a mumbling in chat, apparently, and I feel ridiculous just recognizing this now. It's not Comart, it's Comfort. You see the 4? Comfort. Right? Comfort.
Oh, no.
Took us 2 games. Comfort.
Oh, damn, they're right to. Damn it. Speed.
Oh, the smoke though?
Speaking of comfort, Johnny's going to run straight into Speed. Impel does land very nicely here from Thana. Speed still going to be okay though. That paralyzing cask doing quite a bit of stun here. And Comfort, it's not a very comfortable situation for him, John. He is going to die. And the tips do come out very early on. Thank you to the chat for correcting us, by the way. I appreciate that, and I apologize for mispronouncing it for the last 2 games. And thank you, John, for noticing that the chat did point that out for us. Always hate when we mispronounce names. Very embarrassing when we find out.
I think this one's funnier. It's obviously a pun that flies right over our head, so kind of like a weird gag. Although, Giant.
Oh, Giant, he wanted that bounty rune. They do have an alchemist after all. And he's going to be fine. They can't actually kill him off. He'll be just right to walk away. I was going to say, John, I'm getting a little bit too old for these names with numbers in them, you know? Like, back as a kid, you'd be able to pick up on that stuff straight away. Like, no problem. You'd know exactly what it said. But now it's just like, no, I can't see it anymore. Just spell it correctly, please.
Yeah. It's Boomer Dota, as some people would point out. Still, we've got this tri-lane to start off with down bot. Tana sticking around with Justice, and Homart, the Comfort going really far in.
Now he's gonna find Giant. Giant gonna die straight off the bat, and now Double A just forced to back, but a very nice kind of start there with the tri-lane. They do end up getting another kill for themselves, or rather their first kill. This time, it'll allow Comfort to just have a nice laning stage.
It helps them recover from that one death beyond. Of course, because they're running a tri-lane bot, that does mean our top lane's going to be very dicey for Zor. He's up there solo on the Axe, hasn't leveled anything yet. Just wanted to see what can and will get away with here, but this does lead for Speed to have a good start. Not much contention you can expect from an Axe here, and Speed, of course, did opt for level 1 Acid Spray. Not an issue as he does hit level 2, and this is the comfiest lane for Albinos. Just pulling off the range creep. No worries about creep cutting just yet. Zor does hit 2, so he gets counter Helix up, but you're not going to stop an Alchemist solo as the Axe.
Oh, I like the fact that Zor is holding on to that skill point to see if he does want the Battle Hunger or whether he wants the Call. Because if you do get jumped here, the bonus armor from the Call might just keep you alive, whereas the Battle Hunger obviously is not a survivability kind of spell. So Zor, just happy to keep that skill point just in case he needs it. For now though, Albino Zebra hasn't kind of made any form of a play towards that axe yet, so Zor is more than happy to solo, but as I say that, they drop the acid spray now and he does go for the call. He's going to try and run with this as Thane.
Ooh.
That's a very nice impale out. Thana just coming in for a split second, getting the stun and walking off again.
It's that zippy Nyx, really annoying to play into with that impale. Very potent stun early on. Issue is not much good regen on Tana left. No Mango, no Clarity, so just gonna have to passively wait for his mana pool to go up. But this is a lane that the Nyx isn't hurting too much by kind of soaking in. Having Nyx on hand means that your axe might find some better angles. It might distract Albino Zebra, stepping too far out. And very good presence of mind here from Speedo. He micros his courier away, knowing that the Nyx was trying to cut it off. He is not going to get his courier sniped in this game, which is pleasant news compared to game 1.
Very, very true. Of course, the mid lane, you do see Tay up against Mio. Once again, Mio is actually having a great old time. Currently 8 last hits ahead of the Ember. Definitely a really nice start for him on the Void Spirit. Of course, he's going to be very impactful this game if he can keep this kind of farm up. It's going to be important for him to be impactful as well, as they do need to buy a lot of space for the Arc, like they did in game 2. Top lane, Albino, going to be in a spot of danger. Thana doesn't have the impel. We'll have to let him walk away. I think Zor is very, very satisfied with just being able to farm up freely on this axe. And while I'm saying that, bot lane Justice does end up dying. Double A able to pick up the kill on the Rubik. Going to be very happy with that. But back to my point, John. Zor's having a very nice time, I must say. Like I feel like it shouldn't really be this free of a time for this axe.
No. It's a little bit more than you'd expect here for Zor. Is finding all the waves. He's not cutting yet. Make it hard for speed, but he is getting a lot from the lane all around. Going to be allowed to soak some soul EXP as well, while Tana was walking around trying to find some power runes. Does help Tay secure that Ilu. You are getting some value there for the early bottle on the as well. But overall, I think while your axe is farming, you're also not slowing down the alchemy. So it's a trade-off. You get these item spikes on your axe, sure, but speed is off to a running start, and that is always dangerous news when you're playing against an alch. And Zor just does not have the tools on hand to really be too threatening to speed early on.
Double A. You go down the bot lane. Comfort able to pick up the kill there on the Ursa. Going to feel very nice for him. Just in time for those 5-minute bounty runes as well. Just trying to deny all of them away from speed. Mio going to contest and does manage to get one. Of course, Justice was able to get the other off Giant, and it is going to be a 3-for-1 trade. Definitely not the greatest of news for Eboys. You want every bounty you can get, but unfortunately, 1 out of 4, not amazing.
No, we've seen this from Felt in game 1 as well. They're just always on point with the runes.
Zor?
Although Zor,
He doesn't have much help around. Thana on the Nyx was eventually walking his way over, but that level 1 core, the bonus armor, John, is really keeping him alive throughout all these attempts. He's not really taking any damage once the call does come out.
it's not quite enough to take him away, even with the Maledict running on top. Even with the acid spray as well, with its own minus. It's not enough to counteract that. So Zor in a really good spot now. You are starting to see that hurt Eboys just a bit. I still think you're pretty happy with speed getting the solid farm though, but you do expect a little bit more from that lane. Still, they do get to chase out Tana.
Tana going to be in a spot of danger. Does get the impale off. Mio still going to chase him down with the astral step and does get himself a nice pick off. This is the kind of rotation every mid laner hates. Is when your support tries to set up on the opposing mid laner and they end up giving their lives away. Generally speaking, your mid laner will get very upset about that.
Yeah, it's not a good time for Tay, but he does get the haste rune for himself while all that commotion was happening. So could have an opportunity on the Ember to maybe get a side lane rotation out if they wanted to.
Giant.
Taking off down bot.
Yeah, he's gone. Nice impel once again. Thana landing on 2, and now the body blocks around. And Double A, he just can't get out of there. Comfort gonna have this kill gifted to him as Justice is barely gonna be able to walk out. The Ursa will say thank you very much.
It's a looking good here for Comfort, despite dropping at early death at the sub 1 minute mark. He is finding 2 kills for himself. He's got a really good lane to control. The supports are being active, and this is a big shakeup as well. They're contesting speed.
Yeah, this is much, much better. Though I say that Mio has rotated, and Tay, the Flame Guard, is still keeping him alive as he still tries to run. The Maledict is got a lot of time to go. But is it going to be enough? No, and he'll just deny himself off. Surviving on 20 HP through that Maledict. You think with 3 heroes rotating, they should have got the kill, but that Flame Guard really blocked out so much damage.
And that does enable some movement out from Zor. Like, he starts to dive those tier 1s, level 6 up on the Axe. Nothing to be scared of. He's got the Culling Blade ready as well if he sees the opportunity. So it felt overall off to a much better start. And if they keep that pressure up in the jungle, keep looking out for speed, he's not going to have a smooth ramp up here.
Comfort going to go on to Giant now. Giant in a danger, does drop the Nether Toxin, but looks like he's in big trouble, and he's just accepted the fact that he is dead. Now Remnant forward, Comfort able to take the kill as Tay was looking for another, but they're going to leave them be. Meanwhile, Mio does rotate on the Void Spirit, but I don't believe he can lock Tay down. In fact, Justice now going to just be there to back him up. Mio taking a fair bit of damage. That'll be enough for both of them.
Just a bit of a back and forth. Love seeing the activity from Tay early on and taking a more prominent role up front, trying to apply pressure, force responses out across the map, make it awkward to leave these lanes alone. Like, they've left Zor alone for so long. He's leveled 7 now on the Axe, saving up for the blink, and they just, with his movement out in the top lane, they can dig deep to that top jungle. Creep cutting begins from Zor, pulls a camp, it's an efficient farm up, and now you are forced to move speed into the triangle instead, where it's still good farm with Ancients, but not as fast. Not as many camps as well.
Oh, Giant is in big trouble again. The Dual Breath going to fly out. Zor should have the control, and does, with the Impel and the Ice Path, and they're looking for the dunk. Giant does get the stick charges off. Still trying. The dunk is going to be there now. Does land successfully, but Zor should die for this. With the Maledict and Will. No raindrops on him to save him. They'll keep going, however. Tay now going to catch out the Witch Doctor. That'll mean Albino Zebra. Going to try and deny himself off to the neutral camp, but is eventually going to die. Meanwhile, Thana trying to have a look for the Rubik. It's not going to be able to find him, it looks like. MLP is going to be able to survive this.
Yeah, they managed to take out Tana's courier as well, so a nice little gold injection for your loss. A bit of a consolation prize. Eboys, they are buying a ton of space after Speed, who is going for the Battle Fury build. That's going to be scarier to fight into than the Radiance. Speed is just about to finish the farm up into that item, whereas the farm on our Ursa, you know, all things considered, not too bad as well. Battle Fury being built up. So it's the battle of the Furies here for both sides, and Comfort's not too far out. All things considered, not dropping too far behind the Elf. Is rather early on for the Elf to have that big lead
Nice
down
chains. Mid lane, a double Ice Path, but they aren't going to follow up. It's just too close to that mid-tier 1 tower for them to make the dive. You might just want to wait for Zor to have the Blink Dagger up. I mean, he's only about 800 gold off it now. It really isn't going to take too long for the Axe to get. He might try to start forcing in that tier 1 top tower and just force a rotation back from Eboys. In fact, he's going to run straight into double A now. They'd love to pick up this Rubik kill, and they do get the call. Thana looking for the Impel and does land it, and that should give a very easy dunk to Zor. That's going to help him quite a bit in terms of getting that Blink Dagger up a little bit earlier.
Yeah, it's, again, just about 500 gold off. Going to be a big timing for our Axe once that's up. And they are applying that pressure. We're not even seeing our safe laner rotate out. Like, Comfort still has space down bot to free farm, so to take a free objective here on the side of Felt. Are maintaining a slight net worth lead. The reason it's only very slight is because Speed is getting a lot from his jungle. Battle Fury pretty much done. BF up and running. Flash farm going to kick in. Do have to really keep an eye on the jungle. We've seen Felt respect the jungle stacks before. Zor is kind of playing around near the top 2, but really need to watch make sure that Speed can't take them safely and kind of punish it.
So he's going for the core. He's trying to turn back around onto Albino, and he does not get the dunk. The stick charges will save the life of Albino Zebra, but now Thana comes in. What are you going for, Thana? He does take the courier first. Tay's going to move in for the kill to the Witch Doctor and does eventually get it. They did lose Zor in the process, but they do get something in return. It looks like that's going to be enough. And Speed recognizes this as he goes back to farming that top wave. Not going to be able to find anything more from this.
It's a good pickup for Eboys, all things considered. Finding the axe, change for the Witch Doctor is nice.
Rage, save him for now. Viper Strike is going to be there. He's still just trying to run. Mio gets the Astral Step and Comfort. Went a bit too far and does pay for it, but now the rotations are there. Tay going to Remnant in. Looks like they have got the Impale onto Mio, and they'll try to settle for the Void Spirit, but Dissimulate is going to be there. Meanwhile, Justice ends up dying to the Viper. And Mio, well, I say he was about to get out, but Ice Path is there. It's just not going to be enough. Nice rotation there from Zor with the new Blink Dagger up, getting the kill onto that Void Spirit. I'd say it's still a pretty big win for Eboys, though, picking up that Ursa kill as well as the Jakiro.
Definitely better here for Eboys. They're delaying the Battle Fury timing here for Comfort. Still waiting on that last bit. The Void Stone needs to come out first. They are keeping steady control in their jungle as well. All these dives from Felt has not gained them any more control in the top jungle. There are lots of sentries here to ensure that the jungle is safe. There are some sneaky wards here coming out from Felt, though, right behind the tier 1. Watch some of that movement out. It's not going to be enough to take control, though.
Justice should actually survive through this Maledict. No, he won't. He's gone. Just dual breast the Roshan in angst, and we'll just accept his death. Gives the tip over to Albino Zebra. Yeah, respect between the two position 5s, you know?
Yeah, that's the one thing with Witch Doctor, right? You inflict enough on a fellow support, bound to find that kill. I love this build-up in Albino Zebra. One fluffy hat, another one queued up. Just looking for the most efficient way of tanking up, and that early added HP is rather nice on some of these squishy reports with easy investment in. Still though, Giant down mid.
Yeah, they've caught out Giant. Thana again with a great kind of setup there. The dunk will be out by the axe. Mio unable to get the Remnant off onto Zor. Zor is going to be able to back just fine. That's what you want to see, is they do smoke up again. They want to keep this up. I suppose with this blink timing on the axe, you can just keep running at them. As it looks like Comfort has already found Speed, and they're going to cut him off here. Speed is going to try to get back to farming. Zor doesn't get the blink off he wanted, but they should still get the call, and they do. But do they have the damage? It's not looking amazing yet, but the Macropie is down, and the dunk is there. Zor, he gets the kill. Can't fight this, I don't think, but Eboys, they're going to try. Mio, he'll jump in. Comfort will turn around onto double A now. Another great call from Zor, catching 2 out, and that might mean Mio is in big danger as they have the dunk. Zor going now onto Giant, and another call is there onto the Viper. Give him the 4th dunk. Well, now I can see why they were kind of white flagging when Zor got the axe. He seems like a very good axe player, John.
Oh, he is beastly. He is on fire right now, just finding all these kills for his team just with a blink. Doesn't even have the blade mail up yet, which he will have soon. He's only got 75 gold to wait for, so blade mail blink for our axe, 16 minutes in. They've done a good job of keeping Speed a little bit more down in this game. He's still finding farm. It is an alchemist. Fine farm regardless, but it's not the runaway start that we saw in game number 2 for Eboys. So a 2k lead up for Felt. The Battle Fury here on Comfort, allowing him to farm up as well, going for an SNY to respond. And they're keeping pressure mid. There's just no room for Eboys to rotate out as 4 and start hunting around, which means that Comfort gets as much space as Speed does in this game.
Thana going to the back lines. He does spot out Speed with this unstable concoction, but they got the cask off, and that'll mean this Ember does end up going down. Nice setup there by Albino Zebra. Thana still behind that tier 1 tower, looking to set up. It's really only him. Nobody else around to help Thana out. Double A gonna run straight into him. Vendetta is gonna wear out, and he does go in for a quick swipe. And that'll be enough for him. He's happy with that.
And he wasn't going to achieve anything. I think he just wanted to maybe scout out for his sentries as well while walking across the lane. Doesn't quite find it, but here's the smoke.
Yeah, they've got the Spirit Vessel as well as a double damage on Tay now. Plenty of damage. Battle, or rather Blade Mail up on Zor. Into the mid lane. Unstable Concoction already going by speed. He's going to stun himself up. And they're looking for a jump in now, but no, the Viper gets caught out by Zor while they drop everything on that Alchemist. But can they kill both of them? Speed's going to turn back around now onto that Nyx Assassin. Thane's gone. Justice will be next. And that was a bit of a disastrous initiation, as they just couldn't decide who to jump on. But now the turnaround from Comfort from the high ground back onto Mio, onto Double A. They take down both. They do get the Death Ward out from Albino Zebra, but Comfort does at least get a triple kill before he does die. And you know, John, had they all made the jump onto Speed, I think they would have just been able to burst him down, but well, Zorz might just try for this by himself now. He gets the call off. Blade Mail is also there, but Speed's not doing enough damage quite yet. Maybe if he stuns himself, Zor could turn around, but no. Does have the heal up.
It's a wonky fight for Felt. I agree with you. Like, if they just committed at the same time, they wouldn't have had that issue. They split targets instead, and that split focus cost. They needed to take care of one or the other first and clean up afterwards. And they even sacrificed their Ursa. So a lot being taken away there from the side of Felt. Eboys can be very pleased with the result of that. They drag that lead back to less than 1k, which means the difference is negligible, which is still not an amazing spot for an Alk draft, but you're not falling behind anymore, and that is much better news. Speed does have the SNY up. AC going to be up next, and once you've got that, the machine gun Alk up front, but mitigating a lot of the physical damage coming through from Felt. It's going to be hard to fight into that. And Eboys so far, their positioning's been really on point. Albino Zebra's just been in the right spot, and they catch one.
Yeah, he has had very nice positioning on this Witch Doctor, and gets the Death Ward out for a few seconds. Justice does have raindrops, which...
Ooh.
Awkward timing. So, Justice is almost guaranteed to die, but it looks like Mio might just follow suit. Ice Path is on cooldown, however. So you got an Impale there with a macro, but shouldn't really be enough to lock him down. Should have enough time to Astral Step himself out of this.
Yeah, maybe he gets spiked off, although, nah. It's only Astral Step left, yeah. It should be decent for Mio to get out, unless Comfort somehow gap closes, but he doesn't really have anything to gap close yet.
If they can buy time for the axe, that would be enough, but he's not close enough.
No, way too far out. Zor's all the way down here in mid, opposite side. We're going to have to try it out. You boys could respond. Like, they've got two heroes waiting there, double A's around. Albino Zebra's out of mana, but could just zoom back in. And they've also got Giant wrapping around here, so it's really awkward.
We're going to try. Mio, he almost does die. Albino Zebra actually getting the killing spree now onto Justice. Meanwhile, Giant rotates in on the Viper, but does die. And Mio does indeed end up surviving just barely on that Void Spirit.
The tight spot, but they don't find that kill. They still find Giant, and that's more than enough for Tay to feel happy for himself. It's a pretty nice kill. Overall, that trade did end up as a slight positive for Felt in terms of core finding that kill. But you're not too upset about Eboys. Again, Speed's getting all the space. AC is almost done, 1,000 gold away from the plate mail. And then it's going to be the blink for Speed. Then he's going to be...
Zor comes in with a nice setup there from Thana, but they could just turn around here. Albino, he doesn't have the Death Ward. Speed, unable to get the stun off in time as well. Which means that Zor is able to run, and they even get Thana out. So overall, good news for Team Felt. They even were pushing in that mid-tier 1 tower while all that was happening. Eboy's just going to have to go for the deny now. Even Roshan being taken by Comfort. And you start to ask the question, John, is Speed getting enough farm to be able to carry this game on the L?
I think he is. It's just that his positioning, the fights that Eboys take, is really what's next, right? Like, their natural frontliner is the Viper, and Giant's just not tanky enough to really hold that by himself anymore. He needs his team right behind him to follow up in that short window where he can throw his spells out. Felt for their part, they're doing a really good job keeping up with Earth Comfort. BKB is going to be next, so he's not going to be kited around in the middle of these fights anymore once that's up. And lucky for him, he got he had the Possessed Mask as well for a little bit more lifesteal, which is key, which allowed him to actually solo Roche. Just a lot of things lining up for Felt, looking for tier 1s to take. And if they find a spot tier 1, that's going to give them a little bit more leeway into the triangle. More control over these camps is what you want to see up against the Alk. But Eboys are smoked up.
They are. They should still be able to clear out this bottom tier 1 tower, but if Eboys can get a nice team fight going, they'd be more than happy with losing it. A nice wrap around here. Speed looking for a big start off. Might just run straight into Zor and does get the stun, but the Blade Mail was popped, and Thana getting the Impel off. They might just have to settle for Comfort. Comfort, though, is going for the team fight with the Enrage, but a nice Aether Remnant to lock him down. Now the call out. Mio's going to die on the Void Spirit. The chase continues. Ice Path not going to connect. Giant Impel is there. Thana, nice setup. Comfort looping through the tree line. He's going to jump straight on the Viper, but he is very low in terms of HP. Still does hold on to the Aegis, as now Albino Zebra is going to be the one to go down, and Zor is still finding more. He's got the Rubik, and we'll dunk on him. 10, 2, and 5 now on Zor. Really great performance thus far on the Axe. And that team fight from Eboys, it looked like it was going to go well, but doesn't really pan out that way. And Giant, he tried to stick around to defend, but that means another kill out for this Axe.
Ooh, that is not the spot Eboys wants to be in. Again, it's down to the fights they take with their Alk. Now, they don't lose speed. They lose everyone else, and this is where it starts to get dicey. They're sacrificing way too much farm on Mio and on Giant for these heroes to have any impact, and they're not compensating enough. You are seeing Felt start to pull ahead, 3k lead up against an Alk. That's 6k ahead of your own pause 1. Not good news for Eboys as they start to lose some tier 2s. Now, the bot tier 2 is not the most important, but that still makes this triangle a little bit scarier to go into, especially with the forward wards Felt has planted in. They're going to be able to track the farming patterns of Speed, and Comfort just gets to be bigger and bigger. He's going for the Sanj next with his SNY. The stat resist you get, of course, in an Ursa with that is ridiculous as well. Very hard.
Oh, Mio. Nice sentry ward placement, but again, Zor jumping in, finding Albino Zebra. That's going to be a Witch Doctor gone, but Speed does at least kill off Justice in return. A 1-for-1 on both position 5s. They know where Speed is. It's just a matter of how do we kill him. They are going to start slowly moving their way into that dire side triangle now. Speed, you don't want to walk. Oh, he blinks straight up. Not expecting the rotation in. Comfort with a BKB as well, and Speed is going to die to Thana. That's very, very bad news for Eboys. This Alchemist pick in this third game is not panning out, and Tay? Risky plays, but he's feeling confident. In hindsight, I guess they can't really jump Tay, as Zor is right behind him.
Oh yeah. And this is just the right place from Felt this time. They've kept Speed on check. They've really sacked the other cores as well from Eboys, not giving a lot of room to farm up. Look at the timing. 25 minutes in, bounty runes are up. You have an Alchemist and you're not going to find any of these runes. It's just on point from Felt and taking control on the map at the right time. And Eboys, they have their work cut out for them. Like, we're not even seeing the Atos up on Giant yet. Even with the Atos up, these cores have BKBs now, so you're going to be looking at maybe just locking in the supports, possibly the Ember, because Tay didn't go for a BKB himself. But you're only keeping one hero in check, and it's not going to be enough for Eboys to really overcome. Like, Comfort, the Sanj is coming out for his SNY. He's saving up for the Basher next. And once you've got that Basher up, the Ursa's control is going to be ridiculous. And then, of course, the Abyssal flies through at some point, and then all those kiting issues just disappear.
Things are becoming extremely difficult for Eboys in this game number 3. And looks like the lag issues are somewhat sorted here for Comfort. Do have to go ahead.
A battle seeks resolution.
You have just missed so many timings here for Eboys, it seems.
Bold and sweet.
It just, this game is not slowing down. I mean, it's a 7k net worth lead against an Alchemist. And Speed probably does not want to be there right now. He's running out of space to farm, and he's realized he's in a very dangerous predicament, or maybe not. He might just try and jump in, but Thana, he got the Spy Carapace off. Speed is still going to try and go for this, but the Vendetta, Thana is going to run away, and he will survive while Mio has been caught out. The Ice Path, the Dunk, everything's there. Now Albino Zebra trying to run, but he's gone as well. And Speed, he's going to jump right back in, but I don't know about this. He really wants comfort. The buybacks are there, but Zor is also there with the call out and the Dunk. In fact, never mind the Dunk. He doesn't need it. Mio trying to Astral Step, but he is also set to die, and does to Thana. In fact, Thana gets a double kill now. And Albino Zebra, he is desperately trying to turn this team fight around with this Death Ward. It is not going to work out. It is multiple team wipes out for Eboys. That is a very dominant team fight from Team Felt. And this game is looking very, very over. And that might sound a bit preemptive of me to say, John, but it's a 13k advantage against an Alchemist. It just doesn't look good.
Yep. No, it's not. It's not a great look for Eboys at all. 2 dieback for Eboys. That's massive. That delays Mio's potential Ags buildup now. It's gonna make it harder to defend this high ground. Sure, you found the Ursa, but Felt is still going to be really happy with that exchange as they can start chipping away at these towers. Now, this is where the weakness of Felt's Draft Shrine's true. They do not have really good push on these 2 heroes on hand, but they've got Justice around. Liquid Fire can sort of slowly melt that tower. They're not going to find enough to really take any objectives. They do have the opportunity to take control of this jungle. No outer towers left for Eboys. It's a riskier proposition to farm outside now. And they still need a lot of that farm. There's not going to be enough space for Speed, for Mio, and for Giant to get all of their item spikes at the time at the same rate anymore.
Certainly not. I mean, he's really just got nowhere left to farm. I suppose the triangle isn't occupied right now, so he could go there, but Justice is already in the process of getting some wards down so they can watch out when he does make the rotation, but mid lane is where they go onto Thana, and they do get the Nyx Assassin. Decent enough start. That will buy them a bit of space. And Speed should be using this space to just keep farming, but they found Justice. 4 staff away.
Ooh.
Speed, oh, he missed out. He blinked in front of that tree, so he was fogged. Didn't see the Jakiro just hiding behind it. Very unfortunate.
It's a sick play out from Justice. 4 staff into the high ground, always a sneaky one to pull off. And Eboys, I mean, they're really trying to hunt as best as they can. Issue is now they're under vision. Look at these wards coming out from the side of Felt. They know where they are in the mid lane.
Oh, blink call. Yeah, they've got Mio there. That's a massive target, and Mio, he's going to get blown up into the Witch Knock now. Albino Zebra, he's got nowhere to go. He's gone. Another kill out for Zoras. Now they just take the full team fight, but a great Ice Path is there by Justice. Speed is gone. Giant is also gone. Comfort to pick up that one. There is only 1 hero left, and that is going to be Double A. And the Ice Path is perfect from Justice, and that'll allow the cleanup here. Give him the dunk to Zor. Are they going to call GG? Or are they going to try one more time? They're going to hold out for now.
It's a slow push. This is the issue for Felt. It's a very slow push. They don't have their creep wave around. They can spam the Liquid Fire. Doesn't make it that much more amazing. Respawns are fairly short. You're going to have Mio back up. You could buy back in speed as well. So there can be a defense. It doesn't seem amazing though. They have to really work their angling here if they want to save their rack.
I mean, Speed's the only one with a buyback as well. It's like we're going to go for one last team fight, and if it doesn't work out, that's it. Give it a crack. In fact, they're not even going to initiate for now. They'll wait out the respawn, of course. They might just try to hold on to that last lane of barracks. That'll be enough. They leave the rain tracks felt. They're not willing to overextend if they don't need to. They can just come back anytime they want. I think Felt understand, with the way this game's gone, I don't believe they think they can lose.
No. I mean, if they drop like 3 fights in a row, then yeah, you can lose that way. But so far, with the way they've been playing, with the angles Eboys have been limited to, it's going to be hard for them to jump back in and force that situation out. I did like this little play coming out from Zor. I heard him pop like 3 mangoes, giving me flashbacks to March. Force feeding mangoes down. Always nice to hear that click, click, click sound. But he's topped up back full again. And they could just easily jump back in. But there's no option for Eboys. They're finding what farm they can right now. But it's not very safe here.
Comfort. Saw albino Zebra there for a second. They'd love to find Speed instead. And Speed, he stuck around to farm another camp. Looks like they won't get anyone for now. BKB now up on Speed. I suppose it's somewhat of a game changer, but it's still very hard into the call of Zor. So he does not really care for your BKB. Roshan, gonna be started. Comfort. Go ahead and finish that up by himself. No help necessary.
But his fate will always be
The smoke is probably not going to lead to anything. As, you don't really want to fight into the Aegis cheese if you're not on your own high ground.
the rune of regeneration.
Maybe they find a pick off in this mid lane if somebody rotates. And Thana, he's being very cautious here on the Nyx Assassin. Does also have the Aghanim Scepter up, which makes it even harder to kill this Nyx Assassin off. So he could just burrow, which is always nice.
Yeah, very annoying to have to contend with. You've got the Basher up on your Ember here as well, flying in. So potential chance to bash outside of this is also kind of obnoxious. And here we go.
Yeah, Chain, Mio, he's gone. Speed gonna jump in by himself. He did
Ooh.
not pop the BKB in time though, and he is surrounded. Still does eventually get the BKB off, but a 3-man Ice Path out from our Jakiro Justice. And that's it. They've called that they have had enough of this game. And felt they take a very dominant Game 3 victory.
And that they do. They play amazingly well here in Game 3. They had the answers for the Alk. Eboys tried to fall back into it, but it wasn't the last pick Alk anymore. They picked it in the second pick phase, and the answers were just showing up there for Felt. They knew what to expect, played against it in Game 2, lost, and they just turned it around. Eboys, they found 1 win here, so that brings them to, what, 2 games won, but no series win yet. Felt continue undefeated in terms of series, staying up there in the lower div. And Electronic Boys are still going to have to look elsewhere if they want to climb up from the bottom 2 here, Mike.
That they will. Now, of course, John, I believe we are going to have a bit of an interview. I'm not 100% sure who it's going to be, unless you know, John. I don't think you do. We're going to have to just... Do you? You were opening your mouth there for a second. Who is it, John? Who we are? There it is. Zor's here. He's in the channel, John. You could have
Yes.
just checked the Discord channel. We'll bring him straight in. We'll have a chat with good old Zor. Hello, Zor. Can you hear us? Maybe not. Maybe he went AFK for a second. Not 100% sure.
Hello.
Hello, Zor.
Hey,
How
Zor.
you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
Very well, thank you. Congratulations on your victory. A very, very nice series for you all. That Axe performance at the end was quite incredible, I've got to say. So props to you on that. I've got to ask you straight up, how are you feeling after that series, Zor?
I'm feeling pretty good. I feel like those games went well.
They certainly did. Zor, are you known for this Axe? I mean, people were the E-Boys were kind of putting up a white flag as soon as they saw the Zor Axe come out. We're not 100% sure right now. We're still learning about the NA region. Is this a specialty of yours? Because you made it look very, very easy and very imbalanced.
Yeah, well, it's definitely one of the heroes that I play a lot in pubs, so maybe I see it there. And I think we have something like a 90% win rate with it in this league.
Ooh.
So it's just a comfort pick.
Fair enough,
Fair
John.
enough. So Felt comes in here, right? You guys are still undefeated. You guys came in actually subbing out. It's okay because they were disqualified. How is the stack forming together? Like Comfort and Tay, they're playing from Europe, right? They're playing from over in
From
Russia, I
Russia,
believe.
yes.
Yeah. So how is that shaping up with how you guys approach the game here? Do you think that gives you a slight disadvantage going into these games in the lower div?
Well, I mean, they do play on ping, which obviously is not ideal,
Mhm.
but they bring a unique view into how to play this game, and I think it's just kind of refreshing, and it's meshing really well with us, and we just really enjoy playing together. So I think this is a great team.
Yeah.
Does.
Another thing to ask, so not just the ping difference, but of course the time difference as well, right? Like I think we saw Comfort saying 8 a.m. network time, so he's been
Yeah,
up either early or up all night waiting for these games. How does
yeah,
that
they're
does that affect how often you guys can scrim, or have you guys been going into scrims and being feeling confident from that as well?
yeah. So we've been playing scrims. We obviously have to play them sort of earlier because
Mm.
they are. I'm in the EST time zone, and they're 8 hours ahead of me. So it's pretty bad. But we've been managing to find scrims sort of in the early afternoon, in sort of American time, uh, and it's been working out. But of course, when we have these sort of really late official games,
Oh yeah.
they have to change their sleep schedule around. I think they went to bed like really early yesterday, and then woke up for this match.
Yeah.
So that's
Sounds
that's how we're
fairly
working around it.
responsible. Yeah, well,
And the
it's
hope
been
is
working out
that
fantastic.
yeah, and the hope is that if we continue to do well, then they may consider moving here permanently.
Oh,
Wow.
Or yeah,
That's very
yeah.
exciting stuff. Right now, it looks like you guys are doing great. Though that does lead me to my next question. Your next team, your next matchup is up against Simply 2 based. Now,
yes.
you guys are undefeated. Simply 2 based also currently undefeated. They are looking like one of the strongest teams in the lower division. How confident are you feeling going into that next matchup?
Well, it depends if they ban X. If they let it through, I think we got a shot.
All right. I mean, I can't disagree with that. It's going to be a pretty interesting one and one I'm looking forward to. Of course, if you can beat those guys out, then you guys are officially looking like the best team in the lower division. Right now, I believe you're the only other team undefeated, as the cut did lose to them last week. So there you have
Yep.
it. Do you have any words for them before your matchup? Do you want to give them a bit of a chat?
No, I have a lot of respect for those players. I'm just excited to play them.
Humble man. There you go. No trash talk from Mr. Zor. Just all business.
Yeah.
Love to see it. Any shout outs, Zor? Anyone you want to say hi to or just shout out in general?
Yeah, I mean, I just want to shout out my team. They're really great. Uh, wouldn't be here without them. Uh, Obviously, Valve and you guys for making this a possibility. I mean, I'd never think that I would be able to play in such a tournament. It's just a really awesome opportunity. I'm really glad to be here.
We're glad to hear it. And before you do go, please extend our apologies to Mr. Comfort. We were calling him Comart for the first two games. So my deepest apologies to him. People in the chat let us know how to actually pronounce it. We're getting old, so we don't know anymore. These names, they're very complicated for old men like us. Apart from that, though, again, congratulations on your win. I hope you guys have a very good series up next, up against Simply 2 based, and we look forward to seeing it. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. What a humble man, John. Everyone seems so humble when we interview them. Apart from maybe Mr. I Annihilate, but it's fine. We love our trash talk from I Annihilate. Still, John, that's
yeah.
it for us today. Bit of a long day for me and a very short day for you, sir. Do you have any words before we head off?
Hopefully everyone's having fun. Again, if you want to follow the NADPC, there is a Twitter for that, at NADPC. Look it up, it's somewhere there. Follow the teams as well, as almost every team, even in the lower div, has a Twitter account, although I'm not sure if Felt has. If they don't, got to get onto it. But give them a follow on Twitter. It helps them out massively. Helps out me and Mike as well if you want to help us. But that is going to be it. And tune back in tomorrow for some more great NADPC action.
Absolutely. We'll see you all again tomorrow. See you then.